Do you love the Tabernacle Choir? This year, the choir's music is everywhere you are. Listen to your favorite choir songs and music and the spoken word anytime you want on Alexa by simply enabling the skill.
Alexa, play music in the spoken word.
Now playing music in the spoken word.
You can also download the Tabernacle Choir app, subscribe to the choir on YouTube, listen on Spotify, and have access to all their wonderful music. Happy listening.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb.
Now I know y'all are tripping.
Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. All right, it's that time of year where we're going to kind of take a look across the schedules of Utah and BYU and start previewing some of these upcoming opponents. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll chat with Thomas Murphy, who covers the Arkansas Razorbacks, as that'll be an early opponent for the University of Utah. So looking forward to chatting with him and getting the thoughts on everything Arkansas football related for the upcoming season. That game against Utah will be in Rice-Eccles Stadium coming up on September 12th, as we will continue to rally around this upcoming football season.
Well, I can't wait. I can't wait for football. It was great to be down and just get a vibe for at least the Big 12. And I like that we're going to hop around and kind of find out the strengths, you know, what the storylines are with each team that we talk to. That'll help us to even be more ready when the time comes. But, you know, the way time travels, it will be here before we turn around, my guy.
Yeah. Arkansas started out the year 2-0 with wins against Alabama A&M and then Arkansas State, and then lost 10 in a row. Finished the year at 2-10 on the season. It was not a particularly great one for the Arkansas Razorbacks. But, you know, the other thing, too, you look at there are a lot of games that were close that just didn't go their way. Lost to Tennessee 34-31. Lost against Texas A&M 45-42. Lost to Mississippi State 38-35. Lost to LSU 23-22.
Man, heartbreakers.
Just Memphis 32-31. Ole Miss 41-35. It's just anything that could go wrong did go wrong for that team.
And I'll tell you what, man, you see that on a page, but to live it,
yeah,
like to win the first two, have some excitement, and then, you know, suffer the losses, and you can watch your team drain confidence. I mean, there's no surprise that all those probably came right down to the wire, and, you know, they gained confidence. They lost confidence from all those losses.
This is unreal what they are serving for us here.
This is mysterious.
At Bar W Beef. A smoked pecan peach cobbler. Look at that.
Gracious.
Oh, you get that smoke smell? That is unbelievable.
I just watched the steam go up.
Did you see that on the video, Lloyd?
Next time you need to come, Lloyd.
I am going to be there the next time.
Yes.
We tried to get you down here, Lloyd.
I know. I had some stuff I had to do. I apologize. I should have seen it through. I'm very disappointed in myself.
You should have brought your blanket and came on down here and had
I've had a lot of other things. I'm not going to be careful how I say this. I've had a lot of things brought to me that smoke, but not dessert.
A smoked. And again, they bring it out, and it's in this glass container or kind of a glass cover. They open it up, and the smoke comes out. It's I'm telling you, this is a culinary experience unlike anything else. All right, so I'm going to do the play-by-play. Coach is taking a big bite of the peach cobbler with the ice cream on the top. Thumbs up?
Yeah, it's crazy the mixture of tastes in that.
Yeah.
Right? Caramel, vanilla, peach, and the smoke. Quite interesting.
Very much getting that smoke flavor, too. Whew. Wow, that's good. Holy cow, that's good. All right. Maybe it's a good thing we're having some phone issues because trying to manage our way through this while also talking Arkansas football would be very difficult.
So you lost to him.
So those 10 in a row, how'd that finally make that work?
I've run into so many nice people walking around that say, man, we love the show. It's two guys that were down here doing a training of some sort, and they're like, where are we going to eat Nephi? They got in the car, turned the car on, and we just happened to say, we're in Nephi. They headed over, and now they know.
And now they know. So you got a Utah team, by the way, and we've talked about this with this Utah football schedule. Now, again, no disrespect to Arkansas. Obviously, they're certainly capable of winning games and putting up points. They just were unable to finish the deal in some games last year. But you got Utah opening up against Idaho. That'll be a win. Then Arkansas in Salt Lake City. Then Utah State in Salt Lake City. They go to Ames to take on Iowa State and then get Kansas at home and then go to Colorado. Those are the first 6 games of the year. And then you got, then you got Houston and a little bit later on BYU and then Arizona and TCU. So the schedule toughens up on that back 6. But Utah, frankly, should open up the season 6-0. And will be favored heavily in each one of those games.
Yeah, and we talked about BYU, a chance to do that as well. The one thing that sticks out to me is that TCU game. And hopefully BYU's, the offense and defense are working together that day. But it's going to be a battle every Saturday. It's easy for us to go, they should be 6-0.
Oh, yeah.
I used to hate when people would do that to me.
I bet you would just lose your mind when you'd be listening to the radio and you hear us
because
schmucks
it's so
say
hard
stuff like that.
It's so hard to win a game,
Yeah, it is.
So I don't want to be disrespectful, but, if you're just looking at the Kenny Atkins part of it, the analytics, they should be 6-0.
Yeah. And, again, not fair at all to say that.
No.
But that's that's the fun part about being in the media.
But I should be more thin than I am. I mean, it does take work, right?
Well, I tell you what, we do more remotes down here. All of us are going to be
all busted.
All of us are going to be in a whole lot of trouble really quickly.
I mean, the one thing you mentioned their schedule is brutal, and they got a brand new coach in Greg McElroy. His quote: "The resume is you got a brand new coach, a brand new quarterback." Arguably the hardest schedule in the sport, handed to you in a welcome basket with a live snake in it. That's the way he sees it. So it will be a lot to digest, and I don't think that the expectation will be crazy high after 2-10. I mean, they certainly want to try to get that thing back closer to what Arkansas is used to, and that's just being competitive and some years having a little bit, more of a special season. But it's never been a place since the 60s and 70s that's been lighting up the world.
But it is a place where you've got a massive fan base, you've got a lot of resources, you've got a pretty strong, wealthy donor base.
Great league. I mean, the league's going to cover a lot of stuff for you.
So you should be able to have some level of success there. And again, that was not a bad roster they had last year. They just couldn't get over the hump.
And not a lot of bad losses, as you said. I mean, in terms of, they played competitively. They were in games. Most of those that you rattled off were one score. So sometimes those just snowball.
Yeah.
You get in the midst of it, and you think, okay, we got to get this turned. And then you're on the bus on the way, and everybody's like, there's no chance.
Well, there's this, there's an old coaching adage. You have to learn how to win.
Yeah.
And, you can be a great team, but just not knowing how to make the steps down the steps down the stretch to find a way to get it done. And that team was certainly snake bit last year. All right, covering the Razorbacks, Thomas Murphy, kind enough to join us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Tom, how you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be on with you guys.
It's good to catch up with you. You're hard-pressed to find a team more snake-bit than Arkansas last year, 2-10, 10-game losing streak. But, man, there were so many close games. How hard was that to be around, seeing a team that played their butts off in a lot of games but just couldn't get over the top?
Well, y'all dug into the Razorbacks a little bit for sure, because that was the kind of the trademark of their season last year. So many, and it started with their first loss, a game at Ole Miss where, they're down 6 and they're driving, and it's the 2-minute warning, and they're on the Ole Miss 27, I think. And the next play, they complete a pass, and they fumble it on the 24. And so if that drive had gone the way of a lot of their other series in the second half, they might score a touchdown with, 30, 40 seconds left and really put some pressure on Ole Miss to, at least get in field goal range. That was Trinidad Chambliss' first start. And I don't doubt that if Arkansas scored with like a minute left that they would have gone down and won the game. But we saw a little bit of a flash of what Chambliss would turn into and lead them into the playoff all the way to the semifinals. So there was a lot of that. The following week against Memphis, they had a huge lead and blew that. And that probably played a lot into Ryan Silverfield getting the head coaching job. But they played game after game in conference play, Texas A&M, playoff team, 3-point game, so on and so forth, and just could not get a breakthrough. It was almost like the reverse karma for Bobby Petrino from being a big winner here, and then he has the bike wreck, and they're like, this is his way to gain redemption with the fans, and they can't get over the hump even after firing Sam Pittman, and they go 0 for 7 under him.
I read earlier when we were talking earlier in the segment about Greg McElroy from ESPN talked about the Silverfield hire and how the resume, his quote is, the resume is you got a brand new head coach, a brand new quarterback, arguably the hardest schedule in the sport, handed you like a welcome basket with a live snake in it. He's got to feel like that for Silverfield, but he's also he did a great job at a place that's not really known for football.
He did at Memphis. He inherited the program from Mike Norvell, and they were on an upswing for sure. But he maintained that, and they started last year. I want to say it was 6-0 maybe, and then I think they were 8-1, and then they lost their last several in a row. And I know it was a coaching carousel season was just starting, but they seem to have lost some of their focus down the stretch. But he's got a good track record. I think he's got a good attitude about what he inherited, meaning he understands they're on the bottom rung right now, and the only way to build is just to get the belief going at every level of the system, the hallways of the football building to the janitors and all that kind of stuff, and get belief going. But Arkansas football has been in a lull for so long, really since Petrino was here, that it's not going to be an easy rebuild. And I don't think their roster really is competitive with the rest of the SEC right now, despite the fact that last year they played all those tight games. They're just behind. I mean, they're going to have to pull upsets and, win turnover margins by surprising numbers to have a chance to win any of their games against Power 4 teams.
So that's the other element to this world we're living in with the NIL is that you can rebuild a team pretty quickly and make them competitive, but you also need the dollars to do it and to build that roster. Where is Arkansas in terms of the NIL food chain of the SEC?
Right. Well, Hunter Yurachek made the announcement. Everybody in college sports probably saw it. And when Sam Pittman was fired, the day of the Silverfield press conference, he said he was not provided the resources to compete in the top of the SEC. And they said, we're going to get in the top half. Well, I don't doubt that they shot for the number, which would be 8 in the SEC, which would have been that in those dollars. But it's all apples and oranges. We're not going to see straight comparisons of what your NIL budgets are. But I would still think it's probably ranked around 11 or 12, maybe 10 in the SEC, with just a few behind me. We don't know what Vanderbilt's is. They're not a public institution. They might have more in their war chest in Mississippi State, maybe Kentucky. But really, and maybe South Carolina is competitive with them. But, I mean, that's really it. So they don't have as many 4-stars on their roster. And they've got to win it with guys they develop up, and then star players at positions like quarterback, and there's no guarantee they have that this season.
I know that Arkansas was really excited about the start time out here in Utah. That made the news a little bit. Did you get any info on that? I guess the AD was, just concerned with what it does to the schedule and everything.
Exactly. Well, it's because not only is that the night game, the super late game, but then the next Saturday they play Georgia, conference opener at 11 a.m.
Oh,
and,
man.
I get the complaining there because you're basically losing a day. You're playing the late game Saturday, and then you have an 11 o'clock kickoff the following Saturday. It's a relatively minor thing, but recovery time, prep time, Georgia will be much better prepared, I'm sure, and Georgia's a better program right now. So you want every advantage you can get, and they did not get it in this instance. The series all came about because Harlan and Yurachek are buddies from back in the day. So, but I'm really excited. I went on radio with the BYU guys when Arkansas played 22 and 23. Had a blast with them. I'm enjoying talking to you guys. We can do it again during the season if you want. But I love going to Utah. I've been a couple of other times just on my own, and I can't wait to go to the game. In fact, when we were out there for the BYU game, I went to the stadium, and it was my lucky day. There was somebody like at the ticket center or whatever, and I'm like, I just wanted to see the stadium, and they let me in there. So I was kind of in there by myself that day. It was fun.
You must look trustworthy, man. You must look trustworthy. I just want to say when you if you do come out that week, for sure, let us know. We'd love to have you come drop by and say hello.
Yeah, and I think I brought him some good luck because I think a very highly regarded USC team was there the next day, and I'm pretty sure Utah won the game. If you look up the dates, the day Arkansas played BYU, I think Utah.
I remember that. That's
USC.
right. Yeah, that's right.
So what's the there's some places where maybe the record doesn't necessarily hold true to fan expectations. Where's the community? Where are the natives at on Arkansas football, and where did they expect this team to be? I know there'll always be people that think you should be going 12-0 every year, but what are reasonable expectations that the community demands for that football team?
Well, in terms of wins and losses, to see them get to 6 wins and make a bowl game this year, I mean it just seems like it's outlandish to suggest that. The expectation probably would be, 4 wins or more. I mean, beat your non-conference games that you're playing, with the exception of Utah. So it's Tulsa and North Alabama. Win those 2. Utah game for them is such a pivotal game. And the thing is, yes, there's change at the top for Utah, but the fact that Dampier's back, and I think isn't Wayshawn Parker, lead tailback, he's back. So just that alone gives Utah the edge, and being at home and being at altitude, whatever, big-time edge. But I do think showing a competitive spirit in that game, having a chance, and then coming back against Georgia and being also representative, because Georgia can run you out of the building sometimes. And just so they could get off to a horrible start because then conference play really hits right after that. And, yeah, exactly. They have 9 conference games in a row. So I think 6 wins would be a phenomenal debut season. 4 wins would be okay. We're showing progress. But you get 3 or less. And right now there's a bunch of, I think, apathy. And some people are mad at Yurachek that, he admitted that they weren't competitive in football. And so there's a lot more focus. They got a national championship winning track, and the basketball is good with Calipari, and it won't take long into the season if they lose at Utah, lose at Georgia, and then start losing, that the focus will shift quickly to basketball.
Who, and again, we're not holding you to it, but if there was, if you had to go in the crystal ball, who do you anticipate will be the starting quarterback in Week 1?
Yeah, we kind of felt like KJ Jackson, the redshirt sophomore, got some playing time last year. He looked okay in the game against Texas. It was a little bit out of hand, but the last quarter against Texas, he did lead them on 2 touchdown drives for what that's worth. But he got the start against Missouri and did not look as good the following week at home. So really the tale is still to be told for him. But A.J. Hill has a little hitch in his windup, and he's got to get that fixed, or I don't think he can be competitive as for the starting position. So if he improves that over the course of summer and whatever, then maybe he'll have a shot. But my money would be on KJ Jackson. But it's between him and A.J. Hill.
Okay. Well, hey, we appreciate your time. Looking forward to chatting with you. And tell you what, when this game gets out at Fayetteville, we got to get out there because I love that city.
Oh, yeah,
that's a fun place.
Good spot.
I've lived all around the country, guys. My dad was in the military, and Fayetteville's been my favorite place. It's a great place to bring up a family, and I'm sure you'll enjoy your visit.
That sounds good. We appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you out here in Salt Lake City as well.
All right. Take care,
Tom
guys.
Murphy joining us right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, covering the Arkansas Razorbacks. And I love guys that come on that don't, there's guys that come on that cover the team that you can tell, that they're a fan. And so they paint a rosy picture. And then there's other guys that be like, hey, look, 6 wins is going to be a huge accomplishment for this team, given that schedule.
Yeah, he was great, and I would have him on for the accent alone.
Yes, exactly.
It just does my heart good.
That's a guy that starts talking, and I'm like, all right, Lloyd found a good one here. Absolutely. All right, this is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Time to spin the wheel and talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Scott Garrard, the coach, Tim LaComb, live here at Bar W Grill, Bar W Steakhouse. Tell you what, folks, this is where you need to be. Enjoy, get that 8-ounce filet, get the smoked peach cobbler, get the beet salad. You won't go wrong with any of that. It is as good of a meal as we've had in a long time, Coach.
Man, it was incredible. It was just the only hard part was, it's like Red Panda. We're trying to ride the unicycle and keep all the dishes without falling down.
Yeah.
Well,
and the thing is, too, when you're watching Red Panda, you're also trying to, do a halftime show, too. And here we were trying to do a radio show while we got some of the best food
right
out
there.
there.
Just tempting us.
Yeah.
So, no, it was incredible. We can't recommend it highly enough. I mean, every single time I've been down here, I came with my wife the first time, and we just stopped in a grill. I've now eaten, basically the steakhouse stuff. We've gotten the pastry. Everything's been great.
Yeah. I'm going to have a hard time matching that in any way, shape, or form. I'm a little upset that we're now going to have a barbecue at my house after you've experienced a meal like that.
But you're not necessarily making fillets, right?
No, we're doing ribs.
Yeah, which
brisket,
that's a whole different deal, and you mastered that.
If I was going to cook steak in front of you, that would be tough that would be a tough act to follow.
Do you have any A1?
Like I said, I love my dad. He is my favorite. He is my hero. Everything about my dad I love, except when we go to a restaurant for steaks.
And his name is Richard, correct?
Yes.
And that's where it'll stay.
And that's where it stays. Yep. All right, Sports Roulette. We take some of the big storylines and put it on a roulette wheel. We spin it wherever that little ball lands is what we end up talking about. So with that, Lloyd, fire up that wheel.
MLB All-Star Game, yes or no?
It's going to be a no for me, dog.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
Let's just do the home run derby. Get guys together and yuck it up. You got to gather.
And don't let Netflix do it either.
Yeah, that is a definite no. Figure out how to do it.
Netflix has some misses these days. They've missed the boat on a couple fights, and it hasn't been great.
Everybody wants to do I was watching in the NBA playoffs, they were doing a lot of these weird angles, and it's just just show me the game.
Please.
I don't want to see a crazy angle. I don't want to see look at it from this. No, I don't. Just give me the same wide angle that we've been seeing for the last 30 years. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Don't make it crazy. Just give me what I want. The only thing I don't miss about the old school home run derby is Chris Berman doing that. That needed to go. Everything else can be just the same. Just don't mess with stuff. Leave it alone.
I thought the back was good for a minute.
Yeah. Well, after
when he did it, and he's still doing it, actually, I'm sure he's got a gig where he's recapping stuff.
Yeah.
Fine, maybe year 1, 2, maybe 3, but really, this all this time later, and we're still doing it. It's like, come on.
And you don't have to do it on every home run. Yeah.
And the nicknames.
Oh yeah. Although Bert Blyleven, Be Home Blyleven, was still probably one of the best. That was a good one.
Be Home Blyleven. I got to meet Bert.
Oh yeah.
At a function in Beverly Hills.
Really?
The coolest conversation was all these old baseball guys. Goose Gossage.
Oh, I could see that one.
The Goose was holding court. Yeah, phenomenal. So I love the history of baseball, But it seems like we've kind of, with interleague and like tradition's pretty much thrown to the wolves. So it may be time to look at something else.
And I think, by the way, somebody on Twitter brought up a really good point, or maybe it was the chat line on YouTube. Interleague play, while it was cool and I still like it, may have been the death of the All-Star game, because that was the thing. Like, hey, it's the
you
best
never
from
got to see
the AL and the NL were so separated that once everything started to mingle, maybe it lost a little bit of its luster there.
Maybe they go again like U.S. versus the world or something.
Well, and honestly, the arms are so valuable in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, those are just wasted pitches, man.
Like, it's wasted pitches. They already pitch a ton as it is anyways, so there's probably a little bit to that. You want to protect those arms as much as possible. It's not quite like, I don't think people are really all as much at risk with the NBA or something like that. But with baseball, those are, it's pretty valuable to have to have some of those aces.
So maybe get like a pitching machine. Name all-star pitchers, but they don't pitch.
Or you do like Little League and do a coach's pitch. So you have like the manager out there just going, underhanded.
Actually, maybe that's what you could do, is make it a home run derby and a game all in one. I don't know. It's not our job, but I think they do need to do something. All these games are definitely taking hits. Bowl games used to be awesome.
Yes.
And now bowl games are just like, just like anything else. There's a million of them.
Yeah, it just has a hard time really sinking in. And maybe it's just because we're so inundated with, growing up, you'd have, whatever football games were on CBS or NBC, and then you'd have Monday Night Football. That's what made Monday Night Football such a big deal, is because it was the only game on, and you had such a limited exposure. Now you can watch any game you want at any time, and so maybe a lot of this just loses its luster a little bit because we're just so saturated with sports.
I mean, those are like the 70s Monday Night Football, with Howard Cosell and Dandy Don Meredith and Frank Gifford. I go back to those days, and I remember the way that the game started at 7 here, I believe. And so I got to make it to halftime. And I would always want to see Cosell's halftime highlights.
Yeah.
Because his were, and down, he was unbelievable. So it was incredible. Yeah, you're right, though. It had it captivated because you either watch that or watch Taxi or Three's Company, Those are your three choices tonight, folks.
You know what? Honestly, kids don't understand what it was like back in the day when you only had 3 or 4 channels to watch from, and on the night that it was the State of the Union, it just wrecked your night.
Oh, what do you mean nothing's on?
Like the president's on every channel. What is going on here? I want to watch Knight Rider, for crying out loud. I got to watch this jabroni out here.
And you weren't alive or remembering very much before remotes. You've been in a remote world most of your life.
The first TV I grew up with, we did not.
You flipped.
Yeah, we had
you
to
were
flip.
the youngest, so
yep. So I was there.
That was and that was always more painful than it should have been. Walking across the room and
yeah.
Think about how far we've come, Mike.
I know, right?
All about the All-Star game. We got to that.
Yeah, kids don't understand what that's like. Meanwhile, I've got my kid who loses a remote, so he just fires up his phone and can run it from his phone. It's like
remotes will be the bane of my existence.
Yeah,
I
can't lose so many.
Oh no, I don't lose them. I just I have them and they're in a safe location. Next thing I know, they're in the blanket somewhere or down in the couch cushion.
Yeah,
and then I'm looking for it, causing a commotion.
And then you start yelling at everybody because you're blaming everybody except for yourself.
Oh, yeah, my stepdad was the king of that.
Oh, yeah.
He'd come home, he couldn't find the remote. He'd make everybody stop what you're doing.
Oh.
I mean, it was a full-on family search for it.
Next time you talk to Brody, ask him about that because I do that to him all the time.
Like, nobody does anything till we find the remote.
Yes, I am that guy. I am 1,000%
I'll introduce
that
you
guy.
Old Lance then.
And I would get mad at, because Brody.
How hard is it to leave it on the table?
That's my point. Because I always leave it on the table.
Cushion.
Yep.
Well,
And
not
then-
all of us have the mind you have, Lloyd.
And then it makes it worse because then you start digging in the couch for the remote, and then you find all like the candy wrappers and stuff
then you
that
start
kids are
yelling
stushed.
at
And
'em.
then I get even more mad because I'm like, hey, you little jabronis, quit stuffing your food wrappers in the couch because you're too lazy to get up and throw it in the garbage. So that it just kind of escalates on top of each other.
Parenthood is awesome.
I swore I was not going to be my dad. I've totally turned into my dad. Just anger and just angry at
Disgust.
everything. All right, let's wrap up this show next. 97.5.
Don't be a Richard.
The KSL Sports Zone.
As the Mammoth and the Utes, Cougars, and Aggies. When it comes to sports in Utah, we've got you covered. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You know the Night at the Museum, the Dum Dum character.
Dum character. I don't remember this.
Lloyd, did you see Night at the Museum?
No, that is not the movie. Night at the Museum. I've never heard of it.
Where the museum comes to life, and he's running around, and Ben Stiller.
Is that where Robert De Niro's his father-in-law?
No, there is a figure in it.
Does he milk a
and he
cat? Does he
says,
milk a cat?
Dum Dum.
He goes,
No, that's a different one.
I can milk. I can milk.
Where they're throwing the rubber balls at each other.
That's
No.
dodgeball. That's dodgeball.
Welcome on back.
You give me gum gum. You do dum dum. You give me gum gum.
Does Hank like that one?
Oh yeah, we watched that a couple weeks ago. He was a little nervous about it, and then we got watching it, and we laughed every time. You guys ought to see it sometime. It's quite good.
I'm on it. I've not heard of that before, but I'm looking forward to
Give it a
watching
try. It sounds appealing.
I know. I'm on. Look, I'm a big Ben Stiller fan. We'll watch that for sure.
Seems like you know a lot of the other ones. So,
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
love you, B.